Hello, fellow leggers!
Or should we say hello, corn nuts? Because we are finally
seeing Heathers is transferred into the West End. So stay tuned to find out how many legs.
Whether it's break a leg or leg it.
Hello, fellow leggers. If you are as passionate about theatre as we are, then join our Legger Theatre community by subscribing below.
Yeah, maybe you'll get to the end of this video and think, do you know what? I like the cut of their jib. I'm quite interested in what to hear that they have to say. And if you do, we have a jib. If you do, then we'd love to see more of you. So thank you for joining us, whether you're new or old. So today, where are we?
We're seeing Heathers. Now, quite excited about this because we caught the original Broadway production.
Off-Broadway production.
Well, it was on Broadway still. Off-Broadway, it's still got Broadway in the title.
Now, yes, but that's all about the size of the house. You can look that up, actually. It's nothing to do with location.
Blah, blah,
size
blah.
of house.
We saw, anyway, we caught the original production when we were over in Broadway in New York.
2014.
And we were championing this piece way back when.
We really were.
And what is it, 4 years later?
Yeah, it took us totally by surprise back then because we had zero expectations. And to be honest with you, it struggled a little bit on the States. I mean, it premiered in LA back in 2013 for a very limited run, and then went to New York at the New World Stages. And regardless of how good we thought it was, it ran for only 4 months.
Wow.
It struggled to find an audience. It's been a totally different story this side of the pond. Heathers itself is music, lyrics and books by Laurence or Larry O'Keefe and Kevin Murphy,
who also did Legally Blonde.
Yeah, they're responsible for some fantastic musicals. Between them, I think it was just Laurence and someone else that did Legally Blonde.
Okay.
But Reefer Madness as well.
Which you love.
I love Reefer Madness. And there's talk about it coming back.
Okay.
As talks about it coming to the UK, so keep your eyes peeled. But yeah, here in London, Heathers had a workshop back in 2017 at the Other Palace Theatre, a more substantial run earlier this year at the same venue. But finally, it's here at the Royal Theatre Haymarket.
Okay.
Now, to say there's been a lot of hype would be an understatement.
This is like swept the boards in terms of getting an audience.
Yeah, it's had no trouble, and I think that partly can be attributed to its cast. Jamie Muscato is playing the role of JD. Now, Jamie was Ben in Lazarus, which was the David Bowie, Ivo Van Hove musical.
Yeah, King's Cross Theatre.
Yeah, which we saw.
Yeah.
And also
in Dogfight
at the Southwark Playhouse, where he played Eddie Birdlace.
Yes.
But in the role of Veronica Sawyer is vlogger, author, West End starlet and all-round general pie fingerer, Carrie Fletcher.
Which is a name and a half.
Yeah.
Talk about, that's someone you want on your show to help promote it.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
She's very talented as well.
She's got a huge following. She's great at everything she does. Everything she touches turns to gold, including her stage credits in Les Mis here in the West End and the tour of Addams Family the Musical,
which you caught.
I did catch her. There'll be a review for that.
And I've never seen her, so I'm looking forward to seeing her live.
Shows around 2.5 hours plus interval, so we'll be catching up with you halfway through, letting you know what we think, whether it's living up to the hype. But stick around to the end
to find out how many legs. It's the interval of Heathers, so it's time for the Break-a-Leggers 30-second interval breakdown. Go! What do you think so far?
Yeah, I love the show. It's pacey, it's fun, it's performed so well here. This cast are doing an amazing job. I have a smile on my face. I'm begging for more. I want to do this show. I want to play every part. What about you?
It's exactly as I remember it. It is so good. It's so dark and yet so funny. The cast are great. Carrie Fletcher and the other lead guy, what's his name?
It's Jamie Muscato.
They're fantastic. They're really driving this story.
And just like that, it's all over. Did we survive like so few have in Heathers?
Were we knocked off?
Were we knocked off?
Yeah, because they were being knocked off.
Sorry, I was getting knocked up. I wasn't knocked up.
Okay, so I went first. Did I go first last time? Who went first? You went first.
Yeah, it's your turn. Go on.
I really enjoyed this. I think it's really funny.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's quite camp.
Yeah.
It knows itself.
Right, Cam.
But then at the
Very
same time, it suddenly switches to something really very dark and disturbing. A commentary on suicide, depression, and also gun culture. And you know, like how in high schools, when suddenly people switch and suddenly turn on everyone, we have a mass shooting. Like, there's touches of that make it really current, and I was almost a bit disturbed at times that I'm laughing at this theme, but actually this theme, following this dark lead character, the male, is really quite... JD, it's really quite disturbing.
Yeah, I've got a feeling it's not something that Trump would like to watch, because it actually shines a light on the problems in America. In a lot of ways, its obsession with celebrity, in its obsession with making news, and I think that's a real interesting sort of thing. Yeah, that's what I got. And from the considering it's based on an 80s movie, which we never mentioned in the opening, actually.
Oh, we've got to say,
this is based on a movie.
A big
with
movie,
Winona Ryder and Christian Slater, and
yes.
it was a big sort of cult hit in the late 80s.
Yeah.
So that's how we've got to where we are now. But this production, yeah, I mean, I love the piece. The piece is great. There are a lot of changes since we saw it in 2014. I noticed lyrical changes in a lot of the songs. I noticed bits of the book that had changed, and a lot of new numbers. In fact, 3 new numbers. One of them taking the place of a number that we previously had called Blue.
Which was brilliant. I missed that.
Yeah, I missed Blue a hell of a lot.
I've got to say, the number that was in there, I didn't think was as good as Blue.
Yeah.
But I think it's still on the soundtrack on Spotify. Is that right? The Blue song?
The Heather soundtrack, there's only 3 songs on Spotify.
What?
So you have to go out and purchase it or get it on iTunes or something, because you won't hear the full thing unless you do. But yeah, there was a song called Blue in Act 1, which is hilarious. Anyway, it's gone, and it's been replaced by, unfortunately, a lesser model.
But you wouldn't know that if you hadn't seen the original, so
No.
I guess that's a bit of it's pointless telling you that, because you have nothing, you're only going to be judging it on this potentially.
Also, in Act 1, there's another new song where, what was the other song in Act 1?
No, no
or were there
idea.
2 in Act 2? There were 3 songs in total.
Okay.
There was I Say No, which is Veronica's sort of solo, big, powery number.
Which is hard to describe that song, because all of her numbers are quite big, powery numbers at points.
Yeah, it comes at the point where she's finally standing up against JD, against the guy that's sort of doing her wrong.
I think
and
I
I
know
liked
the number.
that number.
Okay.
There's a number where Heather Chandler, no?
Heather, one of the Heathers. Oh, is this the lifeboat?
No, we've got Tiny's Lifeboat's always been there.
Oh, I love that song.
Do you?
Yeah.
Heather Duke becomes sort of Heather Chandler, and she becomes queen of the bitches.
Oh, yes.
And that was a really interesting number as well.
I didn't recognise that song, so that'll be why, or that moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely new. I'm trying to find if there's a song list in the programme, so at least we can tell you what it's
Should we have a little chat about the programme?
The programme, this is the only programme they are doing. It's a souvenir programme. If you want a cast list, you have no choice but to buy a programme.
Which costs you?
£10 English.
£10?
The most expensive programme I've ever been forced to buy.
Which is, it's a real shame that you can't just buy a cheaper basic programme. I think that's a bit
They
cheeky.
usually do too, don't they?
Or not to just be, if not to at least request a cast list. If you're going to charge £10 and not have a cheaper programme, shouldn't you at least have a cast list, just a piece of paper?
They sometimes put them out in the foyer, things like that, but not for this show. If you want to know who was playing the parts on stage, you've got to buy this. There's also no song list in it whatsoever.
No song list either.
So we can't even tell you what the new songs were called.
We're scuppered for giving you information.
Maybe you guys already know. If so, comment below. Let everybody
us know. What are the new songs?
Yeah,
okay, so what did you think? That's kind of the piece. Let's talk about this production. I love this production as well. The cast are fantastic, but we'll go into more about the cast.
Yeah, the production itself, I've got to say, some bloody good gels on those lights.
Some amazing lights.
Amazing
greens,
lights.
yellow,
Ben
reds.
Cracknell, I believe, is light on this. I hope I got that right, because I love Ben. I've seen loads of Ben's work. He did Adam's Family as well, and he's bloody great. If you're gonna get lit, get Ben.
He's your man. So we go on to cast already.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got to say, first off, Carrie Fletcher was fantastic. She lives up to the hype as an actress. I warmed to her. She had brilliant comic timing. She has, this is possibly one of the hardest vocals, I think, out there.
I've noticed
all
it's been
up.
No, but
there.
I noticed they've brought it down a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, even then,
she's not
it's
hitting the high.
it's in no comfortable range for any female singer, even
No.
if it's been brought down. It is at the top range in a real belty range.
And the biggest-
she nailed every
Yeah, the
single
biggest
number.
surprise for me was not her singing. I know she's a great vocalist, I know she's got great chops, but it was her acting that actually did it for me. I could see her in a play, like her acting through song was one thing, but even in the scenes where she gets no numbers, she's completely believable and subtle and really really gets her teeth into what she's doing, and that was
Yeah.
the biggest surprise for me.
Yeah, the only way I can describe it is that I really warmed to her. There's maybe it's her presence doing YouTube stuff where she can capture an audience, perhaps. Capture an audience's attention and just warm. I really warmed to her and I cared, which is really important because she does drive the narrative. I want to say here, I think because it's come into this house, she will be up for an award, and I won't be surprised if she gets it.
Wow, gosh.
What are your thoughts? Did that cross your mind at any point? Okay, well, I'll
But
say
I
here.
tell you who I did think was worthy of an award, and that's
Yes.
Jamie Muscato as JD.
Also
For
up
me,
there.
even though you've got Carrie Fletcher, who's got this massive cult following, she's loved by everybody, he steals the show.
I'd
will
say
go so
he's
far as to
equal
say
as...
He is the best thing about this, and I loved him. He was evil beyond I've ever seen played. He was menacing and threatening and, you know, still vulnerable. What he did with this role, I am amazed about. In terms of going from being hated to being pitied in one fell swoop, I've never seen it done this well in a musical.
Yeah, fantastic actor, a fantastic journey, a fantastic vocal,
Great role.
a real dark character in contrast to all the other characters, and all the characters are pretty well defined actually.
Yeah, let's talk about the Heathers.
Including the ensemble. The ensemble all have a nice, their own individual characters that we follow.
Well, I'm sure you liked Christopher Chung in the role of Kurt Kelly, but that's another story. I've got to say, let's go Heathers now.
Okay, the Heathers were great.
Heather Chandler, played by Jodie Steele,
Yeah.
who's the mythic bitch.
Yeah.
She was in Legally Blonde at Kilworth. She's done JCS on a UK tour. She's done Bear. Loads of great credits. What did you think of her? What was your
This was
favourite?
great. The Heather which stood out to me, if I'm honest, was the smaller Heather, the Heather in yellow.
Heather McNamara, played by Sophie Isaacs.
Yep, she was really present, she's really cute, and she had a lovely still moment, the Lifeboat song, which I have heard before, but it's never really stood out. It really stood out that moment, and I thought she nailed it.
So you're saying when we saw it before, you didn't notice that number?
I didn't.
Wow.
Didn't notice it at all. And yeah, it's a beautiful moment.
She's got great credits. I believe that she's played Lauren in Kinky Boots. That's a great role as well.
I could see her doing that really well.
And to Shaun Williams as Heather Duke,
Yep.
who takes on the Heathers.
She takes on the mantra of bitch. She was great as well. The dads, I love my dead gay son. I thought that was a brilliant moment.
John Boyden as Kurt's dad.
Yep, and also there's another one, isn't there?
There
There's
is
two of
another
them.
dad.
And the dads, all of them, they all double up and triple up. They're also in the ensemble. Gosh, it's a busy show, as well as playing multiple dads, because they were also one of them was Veronica's dad at one point, as well as being the dad of Cute Guy. So
Hold the phone, I found the bloody song list.
no way.
So the new numbers are Never Shut Up Again, You're Welcome, and I Say No.
Okay, there we go. Glad you got that off your chest.
I thought the sound balance was great where we were sat at least. Dan Sampson on sound design, loved that.
Yes, this was fantastic.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to mention?
No.
Okay, well I guess we're just going to have to tell you how many legs we think for Heathers.
So for Heathers, currently playing here at the Theatre Royal Haymarket, we are going to give 4
Now we didn't quite say why 4.
Let's say
where
why
does
now.
the 1 drop for you?
Sort of loses a bit of pace in Act 2. For me, the new songs, and especially having new numbers and not replacing songs in a couple of cases, they made both acts feel overlong. I don't feel they did a huge amount for the pace. They sort of scuppered it, and I miss Blue, which I know only us are going to know that, but I do genuinely miss that moment. I just thought it's something I'm glad that I've seen, but I'm not going to rush for a ticket and queue up and get day 6 tomorrow to see it again. I've seen it once, it was a great fun show, I'd love to do it, but for me, not quite, and I think it could be topped.
Okay, I think I can kind of see what you mean. I think coming out of the first act, it was brilliant, and the first numbers really drive the narrative. I could tell it's Legally Blonde composers, because the numbers in Legally Blonde really drive through the narrative. Second act was slightly different, took a bit of a different pace. It's down to the leads to really carry the story, which they did really well. But it did just lack that little something. The audience was electric from the word go. The hype of the show has got out.
You can
the
tell
audience
the YouTube
were
community
ready.
are in tonight.
Yeah,
Thanks,
the
guys.
audience were ready and supporting it before the first note even hit, which will really carry the show and carry the run and makes a fantastic atmosphere. But it could still do some tweaking somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite sure where. Fantastic
But you're
performances.
going to have a great
fantastic
time if
performances.
you come. Like, it's a guaranteed great night out.
And let's see if there are any awards. I called this now. I think there could be leading actor and actresses, and I think supporting in there as well.
Best new musical?
Potentially.
At least a nomination.
I mean, but hey, we've got a few more months to come yet.
Yeah,
Let's
and
see
anyway,
what comes over.
That's just what we think.
That's just what we think.
What do you think? Have you seen the
Yes.
show? We know a lot of you out there love the show. Share your passion with each other. Create more buzz. We love to hear from you.
Whether you agree or disagree, comment below. We
We're
are the Breaker Leggers,
and we'll catch you again soon.
Bye.